I'm going to be covering the 12 oils that came in the BOGO Box that is currently still available if you haven't already got it. So if you have an account, you can go ahead and grab that BOGO Box, which is quite an amazing deal. The BOGO Box has an extra oil that's for free, and you're getting buy one, get one free. So the savings is pretty extraordinary. If you don't already have an account, the BOGO Box is also a great idea because this time it waives your membership fee and you get an extra free 50 doTERRA dollars. I'll start with TeaTree. So many of you, even if you've tried essential oils just once, you're probably familiar with TeaTree. Many people are, also known as Melaleuca. It is mostly grown in Australia and it's sun loving. It loves a lot of sun, and what it's good for is clearing blemishes, protecting the skin. It protects your immune system, and it helps to purify the air. TeaTree is a great cleanser, strengthening nail, so you can use it on your nail beds. It's also a repellent to bugs, specifically for kids going to school, things like that, where there's those little buggies in the hair. It helps to repel those. It helps with a lot of different kinds of skin irritations, scalp care. So if you've got itchy, flaky scalp, TeaTree is a great one to add to your shampoo or to just massage it into your scalp. It's also a respiratory support because it's a cleanser. It helps to kill a lot of funguses and different yucky things that we don't need in our body. You can diffuse it and maybe with lemon, another cleanser, and it cleans the air out very, very nicely. And also a great deodorizer. Emotionally, what I love using TeaTree oil for is it's the oil of energetic boundaries. So it helps us to clarify our own personal boundaries especially if we're dealing with any kind of parasitic relationships, if there's toxicity, and if there's undefined boundaries, emotional boundaries, so that we can respect ourselves and respect the other person and have good standards for ourselves, right? So using TeaTree, this is actually an oil that I carry around with me. If I go into public places, sometimes there might be somebody that's behaving in a way that affects me emotionally, especially if they're really angry or irritated, or you're driving and somebody flips you the bird. Having an oil like this to reset and feel balanced again is great to have. So I'll add it to a roller bottle, or I'll diffuse it, or I'll just stick a drop, the back of my neck, something like that to help me get reset and calibrated. It helps with healthy relationships and collaborations, and making things a little bit more equal and respectful in those relationships. Great oil. It's in the BOGO Box is the DeepBlue. So the DeepBlue is known for muscles, aches and pains, joint pain, head and neck tension. It helps with circulation, growing pains, bruises. It helps with reabsorption of bruises, sores, and really a lot of different kinds of pains. But emotionally, it's the oil of surrendering to pain. And what I do in the BOGO Box, this is the pure oil. There's about just a little over 80 drops in here. And I would just add it to a roller bottle and fill up the rest with fractionated coconut oil, maybe about 20 drops or 40 drops rather. In here, if you want it milder or if you want it stronger, you can use less or more. And then you can just roll it on those sore muscles. You can use it straight. If your skin isn't too sensitive, try a tested area first. But I actually find it's much more effective when it's diluted, because then the body has time to absorb it rather than the oil just diffusing and dissipating as quickly. So if you want that great tingly feeling, if you like Tiger Balm, this is a great alternative. I actually prefer it too. I grew up with Tiger Balm, so It's a great alternative. It's kind of, it brings like a nice cooling and heating sensation, and because it's bringing circulation to that area of the body. Okay, next one is Kumquat. And this, if you remember what Kumquat is, it comes from those tiny little oranges that are the size of large grapes, and they have a really, really thin peel, and you can just pop the whole thing in your mouth because the peel tastes good too. So the essential oil actually comes from that tiny, thin peel. Mind blown, right? Kumquat is a limited edition oil. We don't normally have access to it, so it's really nice that it's in this BOGO box. It's wonderful for cleansing odors and surfaces. It's wonderful for brain fog, for the respiratory support, digestive support, like many of the citrus oils, cramps, and if you're dealing with weight issues. It is an organ cleanser. It's very cleansing for a lot of environmental threats. So this one is safe to use even internally. So you can add it to your water and gargle it and swallow it. It tastes magnificent. It's wonderful for like those occasional sore throats. If you're feeling a sore throat, you can add a couple drops to a shot, and a shot with water. Not necessarily alcohol, but maybe, I don't know, I haven't tried that. And just gargle it, and it helps to get rid of little buggies that might be stuck in there. And it tastes great, right? Or if you are having a dessert and you like that extra orange flavor, you might want to add it to maybe an ice cream or a smoothie or something yummy like that. Emotionally, and it's also great for regulating blood pressure. Now, I'm not saying this is a replacement for blood pressure medication. Absolutely not. I am not talking about that. This is an oil that, just like eating healthy, exercising, things like that, it's an extra support that supports your body to regulate itself. That's what we use these oils for. But emotionally, it is the oil of authentic presence. Lovely, right? So it helps when, if we're acting superficially, or we're wearing masks, we're being fake, we're living on the surface, and we're not really living our true selves, which many of us have actually been taught to live that way, suppress our joy, suppress our own presence, be passive aggressive, even because, you know, somebody that's passive aggressive isn't able to authentically be themselves. So this is the oil that helps to release that feeling insignificant and repressed, and it helps us to feel more self-assured, aligned with our own mission, powerful, unpretentious, just being our honest, real, true selves, sincere. This is a great oil. So you can diffuse it. That's a great way to use it. I like using it with maybe some spearmint, or an oil such as like magnolia, especially to diffuse. So it's a very joyful oil. Such an awesome smell. Okay, which one are we going to talk about the next time? Purify. Purify is the oil of purification of all things. Let's just talk about purifying things. So there is TeaTree in here. There's lemon, there's a bunch of other purifying oils that help to actually kill a lot of different bacteria, funguses, molds, things like that. So if you've got an area, let's say like dirty towels, or towels get like that musty smell, throw some of this in the wash, and it helps to get the musty smell right out. It cleanses the air. It helps to clean surfaces. It helps to deodorize the air. It's great for sneezle and allergies, skin blemishes, acne. It's an insect repellent, but it's also good for bug bite stings. So you can actually apply it directly to the bug bite sting. You can dilute it first if you like. Cleaning your laundry, like I said. I've got 3 teenagers, and sometimes smells don't get really great in certain places. So I like to diffuse it, or I'll put it in a spray bottle with some water or some alcohol and spray it on those stinky shoes or gym clothes or anything like that. This is amazing for getting yucky smells out. Emotionally, because it's the oil of purification, it helps us to process and release trapped negative toxic emotions such as hate or rage, which we haven't been able to process. That comes from a place, it doesn't mean it's wrong, but being able to process it, so sit with it and understand what it's about. It's great if we're feeling unclear or confused, disorderly or illogical. It helps to clear out those, emotional and mental gnats, I'm gonna call them, so that we can see what's actually going on. So it helps us feel really unencumbered and more focused and energized, and it helps us to gives us like really mental clarity and rationality, because we don't have those emotional and mental gnats swimming around us anymore, flying around us, right? And it even helps us get joyful, right? All right, this is a great oil to have if you're feeling those emotional mental gnats. Emotional gnats, maybe that's a new thing. Okay, Clementine. This is another limited edition oil. Clementine, oh my Clementine. Clementine can be used internally. Purify you don't want to use internally, but many of these you can. I'll try to remember to say which ones. Clementine, you can add it to your water, you can add it to your desserts, you can add it to some bubbly drink. I love these oils, and especially the citruses in a bubbly drink. And I also love to, it's wonderful if you've got a scratchy throat again, you can use a little bit in a little bit of water and gargle with it and then swallow it. It helps to cleanse bacteria or bugs that are stuck in the throat and clean that out, right? Because it's a cleanser. So it's immune support. It helps to break up mucus. So if you're feeling stuffed up and you've actually got mucus, it's a cellular support, a digestive support, like many of these citrus oils. It's organ cleansing. So if you need support with your liver, it's liver cleansing. It helps to flush out the urinary tract as well, and lymphatic flushing. It is great for mental fatigue. Clementine specifically is great for focus and concentration. I love to use it with spearmint, maybe some rosemary, or if you want to diffuse those three together to help with focus and concentration, that's a great one, or just on its own. If you're feeling sad or anxious, really, I would say this about all the citruses, is that they're uplifting and they change, they're mood modulators, and they help us reset from an emotional place first, and then as we feel emotionally lifted and better, then it gets that mental state there as well, right? So Clementine is the oil of spontaneity and ease. Let it flow. Playful, if you need that playfulness, happy, cheerful spontaneity and feeling blessed and considerate of receiving and giving generously. If that's what you need, Clementine is your pal. If you're feeling weighed down, joyless, dark, discouraged, negative, troubled, tired, forgotten, bitter, controlling or dejected or dissatisfied, just like all those yuckiness, this oil really, really helps to lift those emotions, brings a little bit of sunshine, and diffusing it is a really great way to use it. You can use these oils topically, but I will say it's better not to use them in an area that will be exposed to sunlight in the next 12 to 48 hours after. So I recommend using them maybe in the bottom of your feet if you're going to use it topically, or just diffusing it and putting some in your bubbly water, because it tastes rad in your bubbly water. Okay, lemongrass. Along with tea tree, this is an everyday use. I diffuse this all the time because it helps to dispel a lot of those negative thoughts, helps you think more positively. It's another purifying oil. So you can rub it on sore muscles and ligaments after a workout or run or something like that. It is wonderful to support healthy cholesterol levels with digestion, immune support, thyroid support, It repels insects, so you can diffuse it to repel some insects around. It's a cellular support. It's in that blend called DDR prime, which is really to bring the cells back to life and help those cells that need to die off. So this is one of those oils that has extreme cellular support. It's one of the most least expensive oils that you can get. Emotionally, it helps to release toxic and negative energies that is like blocking, such as if you're feeling hoarding things, attached to past pains. Let's say you have like objects and you're trying to clean out your home and you have like all these emotional attachments to them. Diffusing lemongrass helps to release. Maybe you don't actually need all this stuff. So if you're doing a cleansing Marie Kondo thing, this is a really great oil to diffuse to help you get through all that junk that you don't need, or all that stuff that, you know, you can donate instead. Somebody else can use it because it's not for you. Emotionally as well, it helps you dispel and process those emotions that you no longer need. Spiritually strengthening because of that clarity. So I love diffusing this one. I use it topically as well, and I've used it as well if you've got a recipe, lemongrass in it, you know, coconut curry with the lemongrass, and you don't have any lemongrass because sometimes it's hard to get, or you need to pump up the flavor volume, just adding a little bit. The only thing I would recommend is if you are going to use any oils in a recipe, that you do take like a very small amount first. So like a toothpick in, and then add a bit more if you need it, or what I do is add a drop to a spoon and then control it from there. I'll use a toothpick or a small amount, and I'll put that in the recipe, because if you put too much in, you can't just add all that food to equate it, right? So this is a great oil for cleansing if you need to feel unattached to things. If you've been feeling sticky or have had those sticky negative emotions, let's wash them out with lemongrass. Okay, next, I'm referring to my notes here. Cypress. Ooh. It is a wonderful oil for exercise and support. It's respiratory support, so you can diffuse it. You can rub it on those joints and muscles, on oily hair and skin. It's wonderful on varicose veins to support that. With water retention or puffiness, you can massage it into those areas with some fractionated coconut oil. And also, it's the oil of motion and flow. So emotionally, I love the oils emotionally. It's great if somebody is feeling controlling or is a perfectionist. I'm not necessarily controlling, but I am a perfectionist, and I am slowly learning how to not be a perfectionist. So Cypress helps us to be more in flow and adaptive when it comes to changes, situations, so that we can be more flexible and create new strategies or see new avenues in life, so that we can flow, so we can trust that area in our life. Let's say we've had a big change in our life and we're having a hard time adapting, and we're like really emotionally and mentally resisting that change. It happens, right? If we need to flow into that change, find new areas that are going to support us, and like let go of drama around it, fear, if we're feeling like a lack of trust or like we can't make a mistake, this is a great oil to pull out and diffuse to help support us, or massaging it, or using it in some Epsom salt in our bath. You do not want to use this oil internally, but you can use it topically and aromatically in a spray bottle, anything like that. I'm actually enjoying the smell of it. I used to hate it, which is usually an indication that you need it. Okay, AromaTouch. And this, Cypress would be a beautiful combination with AromaTouch. So AromaTouch is doTERRA's massage blend. It is a wonderful blend. It helps to lessen muscle tension. So if you've been working out, or if you've been holding muscle tension in any place in your body, it helps to relax those discomfort muscles. You can also use it in conjunction with DeepBlue, in conjunction with Cypress, to help, head and neck tension, with circulation, connective tissue, and lymphatic support. So it's gonna really, you don't want to eat this one either. You want to use it topically in a massage yourself, get somebody to massage you, use it aromatically, or use it in a bath with some Epsom salt. I love using this one in a bath with some Epsom salts, especially if I've had a really stressful day or a stressful week. I'll add several drops to like about a cup of Epsom salts and add it to my bath, and you can just feel your body just melting, like that tension just melting out. So emotionally, so it's going to relax physically your muscle tension, but emotionally what it's going to do, it's the oil of rest and relaxation. So it's going to allow you emotionally to let go of that control, feeling stuck and inflexible and rigid and unable to relax. If you're feeling stubborn, inflexible, or tense, or like rigid and stuck, and where you can feel relaxed after using it, balanced, open-minded, and open-hearted, and flexible and comforted, and so that you can see the new way that you might want to proceed, and all of a sudden, maybe you'll have like an enlightened idea where you can see the path and you're like, this is going to be fine. I see the way now. So this is a really great oil to relax, get in a good state, open your heart, and it smells really great. And I'm so glad I got it in this BOGO because I was out of it anyhow. And this is such a good deal, this BOGO, because you're also getting the free tea tree oil. You're getting an extra 6 oils for free, and that's just awesome. Okay, what's my next one? Fennel. Fennel is, I love fennel. So personally, the smell of fennel, it reminds me of my childhood. Going to a restaurant or, family, friends or something like that, and there's those, the little the fennel with the candy on the outside. I think it's most common in a lot of Indian, like East Indian, after eating food because it's supportive to the digestive system. It's so yummy. I think it's so yummy because it reminds me of my childhood and candied fennel. Okay, so it's a digestive support. It supports with nausea and gas. This one you can use internally, topically, and aromatically. It helps with cycle regulation, cramps and spasms, so you can massage it in those areas, with fluid retention, and it helps with blood sugar balance. The other one that's great for blood sugar balance is cinnamon, but I'm not going to talk about that one right now. And you mamas out there that are breastfeeding, it does help with increased breast milk. Emotionally, it is the oil of responsibility and personal power. This is another one that I like to use when I'm doing a sorting in the house and I'm trying to decide what to keep and not to keep, because this oil helps with decision making in terms of knowing what is important to you and what you are like meant to take care of and what you're not meant to take care of. So it kind of helps you sort a little quicker. Lemongrass helps you let go, but fennel helps you kind of realize and discern what's actually important for you. So if somebody is feeling, let's say, unwilling to take responsibility, feeling small, weak, feeling numb, that's happened to me quite a bit. And that's usually out of a protective mechanism where we feel numb because the emotions are like just overwhelming and too much. So using essential oils to surpass through those uncomfortable feelings is very, very beneficial. I found it very, very beneficial. So fennel is one of them that you can use. If you're feeling numb specifically to body signals, such as like cramps in your stomach or like nausea in certain situations, your body's telling you something, this is a really great oil to get you in touch with your body as well. Also feelings of entitlement. So it helps somebody to feel satiated, to feel self-aware, tuned in with their body, empowered, feel more feel more vigor and capable and confident in themselves of their own power. So there is a saying that if you're very attracted to an oil or if you're very repelled to an oil, it's usually a sign that it's a good one for you. And I find that people have a love-hate relationship with fennel. I find it delicious. I love it, love it, love it. But maybe that means I need it. Frankincense. So frankincense is another oil that we get in the BOGO box. This one is, you can actually see it says touch, which means it's been pre-diluted for us. Frankincense is the oil of light and truth, but physically it does so many things. Actually, if you want to know the scientific research behind it, you can look onto PubMed and search frankincense essential oil, and you will see hundreds and hundreds of research studies, publicly made, that are great to read. Frankincense oil can pass through the blood-brain barrier and helps our cells protect themselves, but also if a cell is ready to die, it helps it die off, because sometimes those cells that don't die off when they're supposed to, that creates issues in our body as well. So cellular health. Immune boosting, it's rejuvenating to the skin, it's stimulating to the immune system, it supports the brain also with memory, and for centuries it's been used for meditation, prayer, and spiritual awakening and awareness, right? On my own personal experience with this frankincense touch is I suffered from Lyme disease, and one of these symptoms was severe joint pain. I mean severe, where it felt like I had like these little fires in my joints and I couldn't even sleep at night. I was in pain constantly. It was quite horrific, and this was even after being treated and being on a series of antibiotics to help get rid of the Lyme. That joint pain stayed. And so I use frankincense oil, the touch, this one, on those areas that were very, very inflamed, and it actually reduced the inflammation to the point where I could sleep at night. And I would have to reapply on a regular basis. Sometimes I would pair it with some peppermint, but frankincense on its own did the job. So it is an anti-inflammatory, and it's also an anti-aging oil too. So you all skin lovers out there that want, to reduce scar appearance and wrinkles and sunspots and all those things, this is a wonderful oil for that. Emotionally, it's an oil, if somebody's feeling unloved, rejected, dark, disconnected, and distant from their source, abandoned or unsafe, this is a really, really great oil to use. It's like wrapping yourself in a secure blanket. It helps with feelings of belonging, loved, provided for, safe, connected. It brings awareness to what's actually going on, because oil of truth. I even use it for spiritual purposes such as enlightenment. Immortelle. I love this oil. This is amazing for the skin. So it comes in this little package here, but I'm going to open it up and show you. So this one is the oil of spiritual insight, and this is non-diluted. So you can see the difference here. It has touch. This one doesn't have that. It is pure essential oil, very, very generous. It has frankincense in it. It has myrrh. It has sandalwood, lavender, rose. Someone help me out here. I know it has something else in there, but it has some very expensive oils that are incredible for the skin. So it helps with wrinkles, fine lines, sunspots, sunburns, scars, stretch marks, blemishes, And it helps to reduce tension, it boosts the mood, and emotionally, because it's the oil of spiritual insight or the oil of insight, it's great if somebody's short-sighted, disconnected from their source, maybe burdened, discouraged, and really not seeing the truth, like they're just being blind to what's going on. It helps to feel hopeful. It helps with spiritual transformation, feeling connected, faith, trust in oneself and even others, grace, humility. It helps to feel more reverent, clear, and surrender to what we cannot change, and insight. So some people, I like to use this oil just pure as it is on the skin. It was made this way in a roller bottle. You can see it, I'm just, oh, so good. So you can just put it on, like I've got some sunspots, and it helps with any kind of blemishes. If you have scarring, a lot of the tissues around the scarring are very stiff, and that can become uncomfortable in certain places. If you want to soften the scar, this is a great oil to use, or the frankincense as well, or sandalwood, or rose. They're all going to soften the skin so that the scar isn't so stiff, and sometimes those stiff scars can be very, very painful. The Adaptiv touch. So Adaptiv is, well, it's a great blend. It's a calming blend. Isn't that great? The shiny, 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 shiny. So this one is a combination of citruses and florals and mints and rosemary. That's what it is. It's the oil of Adaptiv, can't even speak, adapting and resilience. I like using it for focus and concentration, but a lot of people love using this oil if they deal with a lack of tranquility, feelings of anxiousness, feeling really low, fatigue, a lack of self-control, addictive type behaviors, compulsive behaviors. If one's feeling really irritated, this is very calming. It's very, very supportive to cognitive support and focus support. It's hormone balancing, and it helps with rest and sleep. I have several friends that swear this is the best oil in the diffuser at night before bed, and it helps them sleep. You could use a roll-on as well and just apply it to your pulse points before bed. It helps to release feelings of anxiousness, nervousness, feeling worried, fearful, or rigid, and to adopt feelings of relief, hope, encouragement, calm, clarity, focus, and self-acceptance. So I could probably do a session just on this. I've noticed that the BOGO Box is still available. So if you already have an account with doTERRA, you can get this BOGO Box, get your 7 free oils with the box. So buy one, get one free plus one. It's pretty rad. If you don't already have a doTERRA account, then this is great because you can use it as a starter kit where it waives the membership fee, so you can get any oils or any doTERRA products for 25% below wholesale costs. So it's a great for a whole year, and then renewal cost is even cheaper. And you also get 50 doTERRA dollars back, which is a nice gift. So if you have somebody that you're in contact with, if you don't already have oils, connect with them or connect with me. Oh, and link in my bio for this kit in particular if you want it. Also ways to contact me. All right, thank you. If you have any questions about any oils or something that you're going through, private message me. Thank you. Have a good one. Enjoy the day.